I grew up in the Santiam Canyon area, and my dad logged for as long as until we made him quit. And so, yeah, I've been in the forest or timber industry community for a long time. When it slowed down, I ventured into heavy civil construction and then was involved in an accident at work that was kind of a life-threatening one. So I kind of got out of construction and started this. And my business partners, that they wanted to start a land clearing side. So we just kind of merged together, and now we're at this point we have now 5 employees and like 6 pieces of equipment.
As the operations forester for the Gilchrist State Forest, I oversee 70,000 acres of state ground. The Gilchrist was originally purchased by the Department of Forestry in 2010. Before the state purchased the forest, most of the merchantable timber, the larger trees, were removed from the forest, trying to get as much wood as they possibly could that was of value. By doing that, what was left was mostly small diameter younger trees that grow up unmanaged in thickets, mostly lodgepole pine and ponderosa pine. Pine in general like space. They don't like growing together. If you have too many stems per acre, too many trees per acre, there's a lot of competition for resources and nutrients. In Central Oregon and South Central Oregon, we get a lot less rainfall and precipitation than a lot of the state. And so we're constantly faced with drought. With that too, that added stress of a lack of precip will cause insect and disease issues. It puts stress on them. It causes more mortality. More mortality can equate to higher fire danger.
Mother Nature used to burn and make the forest healthy, and we're at the point now where it's just unmanageable for us to do the prescribed burn. So hopefully with the mastication, we're going to come along and make it easier that they can come after, say 3 years and do prescribed burns. This is the most economically way to do that, where it's not marketable timber.
So what we've tried to do is put it into a position where it can grow again. We're trying to thin out the stands, get rid of some of that competition with the trees that we want to stay, the residual stand, so they're able to grow a little bit better. And it also decreases the risk of insect and disease, wildfire, and all sorts of problems.
So we've done over 500 acres for Gilchrist, and we usually attack it with 4 pieces of equipment. We'll bring in about a 45,000 pound excavator with a mulcher on it. And then we have a 300 horsepower Prime Tech dedicated mulcher. And those 2 go in first. And I like to call it, they kind of bulk it. They get a lot of the big stuff down on the ground. Then we have 2 120 horsepower skid steers that come in and do what we call grooming. And that's just minimizing the bigger stuff down to this park-like type setting.
They've had to do brush removal, and so that is a little trickier. You're not just mowing from the top, seeing everything. So especially when you introduce snow into that equation, it can hide things, it can pack things down. And so we do like some brush. They'll leave little pockets we strategically place. You want that forage here and there. The animals like it, but for the most part, there's plenty of brush outside the field break as well. So we want to get it while we can. It will come back.
You have to leave areas for coverage. We are required to leave some islands, so they do have places to go, but they love the openness. The grass comes back, gives them a tremendous place to grow up and to graze. You know, it's incredible. We'll come in the next day and there'll be more deer behind you than you can ever shake a stick at.
I would say there's financial risk. Anytime you're running big equipment and all this, just relying on things to work out and for the seasons to cooperate, you're taking on risk. Staton worked through the winter. A lot of our guys, for this kind of work, we tell them, if you're going to operate in the winter, you're taking the risk that when it thaws and that bitter brush all pops up, it still has to all be under 6 inches.
A lot of this was done in 4 or 5 inches of snow, but we attacked that because we wanted to look at getting it completed before fire season. So, when summer came along, that they had a fire break around it.
The priority has been reducing the wildfire risk along the communities of Crescent, Gilchrist, and Jack Pine Village.
That's always a challenge, being around homes, and especially with they're not quiet equipment. So you gotta give yourself a little bit of time in the day just as community relations, right? Talk, address their concerns, explain to you what you're doing.
You can tell from the stands we've treated in the past, the needle retention on the residual ponderosa pine is excellent. They respond great, they put on growth, and that's kind of what we want. We want this forest to go back to being a good growing ponderosa pine stand mixed with lodgepole, but not to the extent it was. We need to thin it out and make it healthier.
Once we would open up an area, there was a lot of people that were out walking their dogs out here. And so I think they enjoy it too, right? Because now they can actually walk through the forest.
It's kind of hard to stand apart in this kind of field. And so the people I work with, the people I've shown these jobs have all just commented on how clean it is and how you can tell that they care.
I just enjoy being able to make the forest a better place for everybody.
The reason, I felt like it was worth nominating Staton Forestry is that they're an excellent group of people. They create an excellent product. They have excellent communication. They care about what they do. It shows. Working with them has just been a treat, and we really hope to work with them a lot more in the future.
This is the most fulfilling thing I could do.